People often say that time flies, but children almost never say this. A child can experience a single afternoon as something long and full, while an adult can look back at an entire year and feel like it disappeared. This difference feels strange because nothing about the clock has changed. Days still have the same length, and years still pass at the same speed. What actually changes is not time itself, but the way the brain processes experience as we get older. Once that shift begins, time can feel faster even when life is calm and stable. To understand this, it helps to separate two things. Objective time is what clocks and calendars measure, and it flows steadily. Subjective time is what you feel, and it is created by the brain. Humans do not directly sense seconds or minutes. Instead, the brain builds a record of events and later uses that record to judge how long a period felt. This means that the experience of time depends far more on memory and attention than on physics. Some people assume this must be related to relativity and Einstein, because physics shows that time can slow down under extreme gravity or speed. Those effects are real, but in everyday human life they are negligible. They cannot explain why childhood summers felt endless while adult years feel compressed. In normal conditions, physical time is stable enough that it plays almost no role in this illusion. The explanation is biological, because the brain was never designed to measure time accurately. It was designed to survive efficiently. Here is the key idea. The brain does not remember time itself, because time is not something it can store. The brain remembers change. When a period is full of new and meaningful events, memory becomes dense and detailed. When a period is repetitive and predictable, memory becomes smooth and compressed. Later, when you look back, dense memory feels long, and compressed memory feels short. This is why time often seems to disappear only after it has already passed. Childhood is dominated by novelty. Almost everything is new, including places, people, rules, and skills. The brain must constantly update its understanding of the world because predictions are still weak. Even simple activities demand attention because the outcome is uncertain. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes sense, because a young human must learn the environment quickly to survive. That constant learning creates many strong memory anchors, and those anchors stretch subjective time. Adulthood works differently. Over time, the brain builds accurate models of the world and begins to rely on prediction and habit. Habits save energy and reduce cognitive load, which is useful for survival. The cost is that many days begin to look similar at the level of memory. When actions run on autopilot, fewer moments stand out as distinct. As a result, long periods can collapse into a single vague impression when you look back, even if you were busy the entire time. There is also a mathematical effect that reinforces this compression. A single year represents a large fraction of life when you are young, but a much smaller fraction later on. As your personal timeline grows, the same duration occupies less psychological space. The brain does not calculate this consciously, but comparison changes automatically. This makes years and even decades feel shorter, relative to the total amount of life already lived. First-time experiences stand out because the brain treats them as important. When something happens for the first time, attention increases and emotions are stronger, because the outcome is uncertain. High attention and emotion strengthen memory encoding. Over time, true firsts become less frequent, and many experiences fall into familiar categories. When experiences are categorized instead of stored as distinct scenes, the past becomes easier to compress. This is one reason why adulthood can feel shorter, even when life remains active. This also explains why time can feel fast in the moment but long in hindsight, or slow in the moment but short later. While you are busy and focused, attention is directed outward and time can feel like it is moving quickly. Later, if that period contained many distinct events, it can feel long in memory. Repetitive periods often feel slow while you live through them, but vanish afterward because they created little variation. Subjective time depends on both attention during experience as structure and memory afterward. Extreme situations make this even clearer. In danger, attention narrows and processing speed increases because survival is at stake. People often report that time slowed down during accidents or near misses. This does not mean the brain measured time differently, but that it processed more information per second. Boredom can create a similar distortion in the opposite direction because attention turns inward and every moment becomes noticeable. In both cases, the clock is normal, but perception changes. Although you cannot change objective time, you can influence subjective time. The brain records periods more richly when they contain meaningful novelty and focused attention. Learning demanding skills, changing environments, meeting new people, and working toward clear goals can increase memory density. Writing things down can help as well, because it creates explicit markers in time. The point is not constant stimulation, but breaking autopilot often enough to create distinct moments. Time feels faster with age, because the brain becomes efficient. Childhood feels long because the brain is learning everything for the first time and storing dense memories. Adulthood can feel fast because habits, prediction, and repetition compress experience. The percentage of life effect strengthens this compression even further. This is not a flaw in the brain, but a consequence of how evolution shaped a system that values efficiency over accurate timekeeping. The brain does not count days because it counts change, and when change becomes rare, time appears to vanish.